Hey everyone, welcome to Stack Keto. I'm STJ. Today I'm going to be leading you through the Solopreneur CRM dashboard. I'm going to be honest with you guys. This was built because I am terrible at following up with leads, and it's cost me. Most people who are running a home business, their trouble isn't that they're not working hard enough. Most of us just don't have a great system set up, especially when it comes to dealing with leads coming in. I've worked with probably in the neighborhood of around 100 startups. And I can tell you that this is one of the number one places where people lose money in their business. Just a sheer lack of follow-up, lack of organization, possible partnerships. So this particular CRM is a game changer. All right, enough of that from me. We're going to go ahead and jump right into it. After purchasing the CRM, you'll get a Google Sheets download into your email, as well as also a link to the Excel version if you'd prefer to do this offline or just prefer to use Excel. All right, let's go ahead and get started looking at the CRM tool. So I've inserted some placeholder names, which includes just the contact person, what date that I heard from them, and what company they represent, even what source they came from. And you can actually modify these too, just by clicking on this pencil right here on the dropdown. You'll be able to change this from YouTube, website, email referral. Those are the built-in ones. You can go ahead and add and change those. For example, if I wanted to add, this is actually coming from a range, which is built into the settings. But if you want to just change this to a drop down, you can make it your own. Like I got this from email, website, and so on. So I'm not going to go ahead and save that. I'm just going to go back to it as normal. The other things are the stages. The stage is going to be new proposal. When the lead just barely comes in, I want to click on new, as these are going to be fresh, ready to go. I need to get in touch with them. You can also change them to contacted once you've done your first contact, and you do want to mark when that first contact happened so that you can actually track basically how long it takes us to reach out to our first contact. And you can tell that we are definitely doing them too slowly. And we're going to want to get this down to ideally within the first or even second day. Within 48 hours, these customers need to be contacted. Otherwise, they probably will go with another option. So we're going to go ahead and just say contacted. I reached out to this person within, I'm going to say 11/4/25. And that puts us, you'll just notice this average will start to go down the better we get at contacting everybody. The next step is, what do we need to do? Are we going to be sending them something? Are we sending them a proposal? You want to just have those next steps recorded here. This setup makes it easy for us to be able to change and update their status as they move through the pipeline. The next step date, when am I contacting them again, should also be marked, just so that we know when's the next time I'm getting in touch with them. As far as this value field, sometimes I do get questions on this. This is essentially how much that customer is expected to bring. You can put down like the monthly contract amount that they're looking to purchase. Some people just want to pay 1 year in advance. You can put that amount here too. Essentially, this is just keeping track of the value of this lead. And then this is one of those columns that is probably lesser utilized, but is one of the most important. So make sure you keep this one up to date. It's the last date that we reached out to this client. This is the kind of step that can help us keep them from falling through the cracks. So we have a better chance at locking down that lead. I have a notes section, which just helps me know, hey, anything important about this client, something that I need to know, and, favorite sports team, important things about their business. Fans of The Office will remember Michael Scott's cards that he had. This is kind of that section I'd recommend for this, but I don't know, maybe more effective than the way he does it. Another thing that's going to be very helpful is these pipeline stages are all tracked here. So you can see how many new ones I have, how many have been contacted, how many have had a call booked, how many are in proposal mode. And of course, whenever I mark them as won or lost, it'll show me my overall win rate, how many of these are getting converted. So if I were to change this one to say lost, you'll notice that it's 66% of the time we're converting them at the very end. I mean, dang, a lot of people would really like that 66% conversion rates. That's still great. Another cool feature is you can also sort these by source type. So if I wanted to see how my leads were by email, I could actually have it filter down to just email leads. Same thing with, Instagram, same thing with website. All of that stuff will be tracked here, which is awesome. And if I'm tired of filtering those and I want everybody, I can just hit the delete button and it'll just reset back to normal. Most people who have purchased this actually really also like this feature where it puts somebody in the leads to follow up with today. So Oliver D, it's been a little while since we've reached out to him. So he's going to be ranked right there at the top. This is going to help me sort who I need to talk to next and try to make sure I reach out to today. While this is a popular tab on the CRM dashboard, and usually the main reason people buy this, there are other tabs that have been included, such as the revenue tab, which allows you to actually track your revenue, where it comes from, the dates, the customers, what offer they purchased, and what channel that revenue came from, how much the revenue was, notes, really clean and easy. So if I had a person today, we're going to say Bill Joseph purchased the CRM dashboard, and it was straight from my website. We'll just say that was 67. Notes, I'm going to just say follow up and get review. But I can also track how much of my revenue is coming from which source, just like this. So I'll say year to date, and again, these are all made up, but I can say that's what's coming from the website. From YouTube, that's my total revenue from YouTube year to date. I can also say the last 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, last month. All of those are available. And if I don't want any of these filters, just go ahead and clear them by hitting the delete button. Awesome tab to be able to keep track of the revenue coming into your business, which pairs great with the content planner, because this tab is all about designing each piece of your content so that it's tied to an outcome, not just views, but real revenue. So you can literally see what's converting. The sources usually people use are like YouTube, blog, but you can add anything else like your social media, Instagram, TikTok, Substack, any of those you can actually add here. Include a title or topic about what you're going to be discussing. Take a little bit of time to also research primary keywords. You'll notice on this year's edition of the CRM dashboard, it actually includes a link to the free keyword search tool. So if I was looking for my specific industry, we'll just say SEO. That's the keyword that I'm interested in. It'll actually tell me how often that's searched every single month. It'll also tell me how competitive that is. Now, this is usually more for like Google ads, but you get basically a list of great keywords that you include in your search content. Something pretty cool is you can filter these down by state. So if you wanted to go with, say, Kentucky, you can see how many times this particular keyword is searched in Kentucky every single month. Voila, that's my new primary keyword that I want to make sure I fit into my title, my metadata, all of that. The offer or CTA is going to be what I'm providing that could actually monetize this content. The rest are pretty self-explanatory, such as, this is in edit modes. I've got it scheduled, published. Repurpose could mean that this was like for a different year. I'm repurposing a 2025 post now to be updated to a 2026 post, just as an example. What day am I planning on publishing this? Or when was it published? Any notes? Like, was this a flagship video? Do I need to do, add screenshots? Things like that. Do I need to add case studies, proof of concept, things like that? And I can't stress this enough. This one is a big one, is the feedback loop. How did it perform? When I look through my Google Analytics, when I look through YouTube Analytics, how many views did this get? And how many times did people click through? How many times did I make sales that are related to this particular type, which you can actually use through things like what's called UTMs. I won't get into that in this video. If you look up UTMs, it's a great way to track how and where your leads are coming from. Once you have that information, you'll be able to look at the conversion percentage and see how well those are performing, revenue, how much it generated. This way you can actually see how powerful that offer really is. Honestly, that can even help you say, hey, I should probably drive more traffic to this particular type of content. Okay, now one of the hidden gems inside this CRM dashboard is the YouTube KPI Tracker, which allows you to track your weekly progress. Everything from how many views you're getting overall, which you can find in your YouTube analytics, your subscribers, your website sessions, which is like all of your interactions, the email subscribers that you're getting, the leads, sales, and revenue and all that, which even if you're new with YouTube, it's a great KPI. It's manual, fill in, and then you can follow the momentum. No heavy duty dashboards, no complexity, just following those numbers that matter. The last tab is the expenses tab. This is the one that really gets people excited, and usually the first way that you automatically get your money's worth out of this CRM, finding any previous subscriptions that are costing you money right now. I consider this kind of like the no surprises tab. So you don't have any of those same problems where I'm paying too much for these tools. I forget about subscriptions. I don't know what I actually need. Once you have these all inside this tracker, you can go ahead and mark them as maybe, I'll keep them, no, I'm not going to keep them, and be able to see how much you can reduce your average monthly cost in your business. Because every single thing you cut back on can greatly reduce that average annual cost. And I feel it's a good time to remind you that these are just made up prices. I'm not even saying that any of these are worth renewing, not renewing, just so you have an idea. And that's how this works with the Solopreneur CRM. Keeps you from losing those leads, keeps track of what's actually making money, what's wasting money, all in this one tool. As soon as your copy arrives via email, you can start by just clearing out all of the placeholder information. It's easy to order. You just go to stackato.com through the secure checkout, and it's instantly sent over to your email. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for other great tools for work from home, home-based entrepreneurs. And you can learn more at stackato.com. Catch you next time.